Manic Bestia.
Behold, the least bizarre David Bowie vanity project, Labyrinth. For some reason I remember this film being a lot scarier than it actually is, because now that I've seen it again, this film is an absolute circus and easily the funniest one off my 80s movie list. So at its core, Labyrinth is a coming-of-age story about Sarah trying to remember the lines to a fictitious story of the same title. But her baby brother keeps annoying her, so she summons the power of David Bowie to take him away and turn him into a goblin or something. I don't think it's even explained in the film why he wants the baby. Realising her mistake, Sarah sets out to save her little brother from the Goblin King's magical maze of mischief, and hilarity ensues. Jim Henson admitted himself that the Dark Crystal was too morbid, so he decided to tip the scale in the complete opposite direction for this film, and make every side character a complete fucking clown. So yeah, right out of the gate, this film is very tongue-in-cheek, but I don't think that ruins the experience. In fact, that's sort of why I loved watching this movie again, namely the scenes with David Bowie. He steals the show completely, and goddamn, the music! Trevor Jones complimented this movie beautifully with some of the most gorgeous synthesizer ballads you'll ever hear in your entire life. As Sarah goes through the maze of madness, she comes across all sorts of gormless freaks who exist only to fuck with her, and frankly, it's sickening, okay? Why would David Sylvian do this? She comes across this knobbly goblin dude pissing into a pond, and he tries to double cross her multiple times, but he does learn his lesson in the end. Yes, this film actually has character arcs. They're actually allowed to change. Isn't that crazy? Jennifer Connelly is really good in the film as Sarah, and the way her character matures as the story continues is great. The film begins with her forgetting the lines to the play and being selfish towards her family. She's ostentatious to a degree where she even prioritizes her rabbit doll over her baby brother. Never trust a puppet. Whenever you see a puppet in a film, you just know there's going to be strings attached. So as she continues to go through the labyrinth, she comes across all sorts of whack shit. There's a little Scottish worm, a hole of hands, Banjo Kazooie, living door knockers, and so much more. So I guess the moral of the story is to be a good girl and look after your baby brother, or your favourite singer is going to come down and torture you with crap green screen effects and lakes of eternal stench.
And Hoggle, if she ever kisses you, I'll turn you into a prince. Prince of the land of stench.
Yeah, Labyrinth has a lot of bad effects, which really aren't excusable because of age. They were just poorly thought out. It's one of the biggest problems with this film for me because a lot of movies had really tight effects at the time, even if bad chroma keying seemed to affect almost every blockbuster in the 80s. One of my favourite effect moments, however, is when she comes across Ludo. He's so charming and doesn't overstay his welcome or ruin any scenes he appears in going forward, like a lot of movies do with comic relief characters. On the other hand, there's Didymus, the crazy fox knight who rides Sarah's dog into battle. Why is Sarah's dog here now? So Sarah's dog is just here now, okay. Why? I guess it's just another one of the Labyrinth's crazy tricks. Just don't think about it. Most of the side characters are just here for comedy, which only serves to highlight how entertaining David Bowie's performance is. He plays Jareth so straight and serious, so when you see the film cut from him with the real baby to him with a doll throwing it into the air, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. It's so perfectly stupid. I appreciate Jim Henson's ambition and desire to do something different with the Dark Crystal, but it's clear as glass that his strengths are in comedy. This film effortlessly puts a smile on my face every time.
Dance Magic gave me a bit of a problem. In the recording studio, the baby I picked, one of the backing singers, who couldn't put two gurgles together. And it wouldn't work for me. I mean, it wouldn't go. I kicked it, I did everything to make it scream, but it really buttoned its lips. So I ended up doing the gurgles. So I'm the baby on that track as well.
David Bowie, could you please repeat that? What the hell?
I thought, what the hell? I've done Laughing Gnome. I might as well.
I mentioned earlier how Labyrinth tips the comedy scale far in the opposite direction to the Dark Crystal. And for the most part it works, but there are some glaring moments where the atmosphere is just shattered by something zany happening.
Come on, let us be brothers henceforth and fight for the right as one.
There are definitely some scary moments, like when Sarah and Hoggle are running away from this insane mechanical ball drill, and when Didymus opens his mouth, but other than that, I really wish there were some more slow and atmospheric moments where the music and visuals are given a chance to breathe. And can we talk about the gang of badly luminance-keyed bird bastards who do nothing but torment Sarah? Of course goddamn George Lucas was behind the scene, for fuck's sake! I know a lot of people have nostalgia for this film and Jim Henson's Muppet songs, but I really can't get down with this. I just don't like Muppetcore, I'm sorry. It's hard to understand what these cheeky monkeys are even saying, but I doubt it's anything insightful. It really feels like I'm watching a deleted scene, and honestly, I think it should have been. Even if Labyrinth is packed with cheesy 80s tropes, it still has its moments of brilliance. Some real standouts for me include the hallucination scene and the MC Escher scene at the end. These are both poignant moments in the film as Sarah's manipulated by Jareth. The hallucination scene follows shortly after she's tricked by Hoggle, who up to now has earned her trust, into eating a cursed fruit. It completely transforms the film into a ballroom scene, in which Sarah is in the centre, dancing with Jareth and living out one of her fantasies. The music is what really carries this scene. It's perfectly eerie and slowly deteriorates over time as she realises what's going on. There's a lot of cool moments like this throughout the film, like the scene where she finds her old room in the middle of a junkyard. It's not subtle at all, but the scene represents her detachment from her material belongings. Realising all the things she's brought and surrounded herself with are just junk and don't really matter or bring her any comfort anymore. A few more antics later, and the group finally make it to the castle. After a fun battle scene against the Goblin army, which definitely drags on a bit, might I add, Sarah confronts Jareth in a brilliantly surreal dreamscape horror maze of illusion. Inspired by MC Escher, and actually officially sanctioned by the estate of Escher, by the way, the scene is once again elevated by the score, with a strong sense of cinematography and effects, which still hold up to this day, even if some parts look a little stiff. The way the film ends is genuinely really sweet, with Sarah giving her teddy bear to the baby as he sleeps soundly into the night, safe from the dreaded Goblin King. However, this immediately all gets undone because the film has to end with a cheesy dance sequence where all the main characters suddenly appear in her bedroom, which doesn't make any sense at all and leaves nothing up to the imagination. Don't do this! Stop doing this in films! Here's a bit of fun trivia for you though. Toby Froud, who was the baby in Labyrinth, went on to become a visual effects artist and puppeteer as well. He even worked on the Dark Crystal's Netflix show, so it really is all connected. Speaking of which, there's a whole host of other great dark fantasy films from the 80s, which I didn't have time to talk about in this video. They've all got their own weird, unique worlds and incredible practical effects, so pretty much any fantasy film before the digital age has something to appreciate about it. And goddamn, just look at the posters of these things.
This is the most epic shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
The posters for Labyrinth and Legend were actually inspirations for the opening animation I made for my online Obscura series. There's just such a sense of majesty to these paintings. Oh my lord, we're not worthy. Watching these films again was seriously so much fun. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and give these a must-see out of 10. I mean, yeah, they're flawed as hell and filled with some straight bad moments, but if you have any appreciation for immersive fantasy worlds and great practical effects and puppetry like I do, then these films are seriously something to behold. Anyway, join me next time where I talk about another niche genre that I love, just so people can completely misunderstand the point I was making that elitism is a complete cancer on internet culture. I just wish the Goblin King would come and take away all of my problems, right now. What the hell? Since when did I have satellite TV in this place? Okay, what am I supposed to do with this?